Thanks for coming in to talk about this.
Of course. You can be seated. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have everybody here. My name's Jane Brandel. You may know me as Dr. Brandel, and hopefully other words weren't used associated with my name when you heard that over the last few years. I serve as the chair of the division. And then we also have our faculty over here that I'm going to introduce to you as well, because they're actually the reason why your students are now to this point. So our first faculty member is Miss Molly Abitbull. And then we have Miss Tracy Toman, Mrs. Tracy Toman. We have Dr. DeStolfo, Dr. Hollow, Dr. Me. We only have one of our Dr. Morses because the other one's sick. So we have Dr. Morse. We have Dr. Israelson. We have the newly Dr. Hutchinson. And we have Dr. Callahan. Okay, so that's who we are. I want to welcome all of the students, the graduates, the families, friends, everybody that came. We're honored to have the opportunity to celebrate with you on this wonderful day where you get to celebrate all of your accomplishments and hard work and everything that you've done over the past few years. Students, I would like you to turn around and look at the people that have been supporting you, wave to them, and give them a round of applause. So I would also like you to take a moment as a group to thank all of your faculty. So all of you are at a unique point. Some of you are getting ready to start a job or continue a job. Some of you are going to continue school either here or someplace else so you can get ready for that first job. And believe me, everybody's excited about you getting that first job with benefits. And with that, you get to earn a salary. And as I've been preparing for this speech, it came to my attention that the Latin root of salary is salarium, which is a root word of sol, which means salt. And it is not unusual that salt would be associated with your salary if you understand the historic value of salt and survival. Salt preserves your food, and it's worth a lot. It was actually nicknamed the white gold historically because of what it could do in both seasoning your food, but also preserving your food so that you could eat it later when you didn't have food readily available. And it's important to kind of think about that because as we think about being the salt of our workplace or school place, it's really good that we understand that we have those qualities, and we hope that as a faculty, we've really instilled those solid qualities that will make you the salt of your workplace so that you can earn your salary in a well-deserved manner. And so when you think about coming from a land grant institution, salt comes from the land, and being able to give back to your clients and your coworkers and the institution that you will work for, whatever that is, it's important to remember that it's not for yourself that you're working. It's actually for all of those other people, and especially the mission of the workplace. And as a land grant mission, our mission is to serve the state and the people of West Virginia. And we hope that we've instilled that same value system in you so that as alumni of West Virginia University, you can take those values into your workplace and proliferate them everywhere. And so with that, I congratulate all of you on your accomplishments. Go out and earn your salaries. Your family will be really happy about that. And then with that, I'm going to start our awards for our students. Leah, you're first. Sorry, we've got to pass off Frankie.
Hi, everyone. Whoa. My name is Dr. Leah Morse. I'm not Dr. Kenny Morse. Uh, He's sick, so he asked if I wouldn't mind helping out, so that's what I'm doing. Our Faculty Research Award is going to a person that's made an extraordinary impact on the research culture within our program through her mentorship, collaboration, and commitment to evidence-based practice. She has mentioned nearly all faculty within our program in their research and scholarly goals, particularly helping clinical faculty bridge the gap between clinical expertise and meaningful research, publications, and contributions, often empowering those who initially struggled with imposter syndrome surrounding research. She has also supported countless undergraduate students completing capstone projects and graduate students completing culminating research projects. At our most recent research day, which featured some of the most complex and innovative student contributions our program has seen, she mentored 8 student-led research groups, empowering students to actively engage in meaningful clinical research and scholarship. Beyond mentoring individuals, she has fostered a spirit of collaboration that has led to new partnerships, scholarly projects, and publications across faculty and student groups. She embodies the principles of evidence-based practice in both her teaching and mentorship, consistently demonstrating that research is not something separate from clinical work, but something that strengthens and elevates it. Through her passion, generosity, and leadership, she has empowered others to pursue scholarship with confidence, creating a ripple effect that has positively impacted our students, faculty, program, and broader professional community. Please welcome me in congratulating Dr. Alex Hollow.
Thank you.
All right, I have the pleasure of doing the presentation of the Faculty Teaching Award. This award goes to a very special faculty member who, first of all, is rated as one of the most approachable, personable, and respected faculty year after year by the students. And I think that's something we always want to take into account when we're thinking about our teaching, and that respected relationship between faculty and teachers is so important. Most recently, she created a new clinical educational opportunity for students in our first year cohort by revamping a Clinic One opportunity, which allowed students hands-on experience with diagnostic and treatment, which gave them hands-on experiences in the clinic before being with actual patients. And I can say as a provider in the clinic that when those students came in their second semester, they were able to do things that I've never had a second semester be able to do. So that was really innovative and really useful for both the student and the providers in the clinic. She's also created interdisciplinary grand round experiences for our division, which are traditional and customary in the School of Medicine that we had not had before. And as you've already heard, she's a lifelong learner who's recently completed her doctorate this spring. So I'd like to congratulate Dr. Hutchinson. I also have the distinct pleasure of presenting the Faculty Clinical Service Award. And this year, I've had the pleasure of watching one of my providers as the clinical coordinator take on a new initiative. I felt that exact same way. Thank you. I feel that way exactly. This particular faculty member created a new AAC lending library with the West Virginia Assistive Technology Center through the Center of Excellence in Disability. You may not know really what that means, but that allows children who have nonverbal abilities to be able to communicate and provides access to devices, both high tech and low tech, to individual SLPs throughout the state. So we now have access to provide other SLPs those devices. She's increased services through our clinic, through a multidisciplinary clinic that allows PTs, OTs, and herself to provide AAC services not only to pediatric patients, but also to adult patients who might be in the end stages or late stages of Parkinson's or Huntington's diseases. And so I would like to just from those things alone present this award to Miss Molly Abibal. Thank you so much.
Well, I get the pleasure of giving the first student award of the day. That's what we're here for, to celebrate all of our students. And this is a tough award for us to be able to decide on. It's for this Outstanding Student Clinician Award for Audiology. And as I look at all of these faces here in the front row, any of you, mean it, any of you could be up here for this award. You all deserve it. This cohort has been amazing. You've all just helped to support each other, and just to watch you grow as clinicians has been one of the greatest things that I've been able to experience as a faculty member. Our program has changed and went to this 3-year, and we were just wondering if it was going to be what it could be, and you guys have shown that it's above what we thought it ever could be. And so I just want to thank you all for all the hard work that all of you put in, really. And when we look at what makes a good clinician, there are a lot of things that stand out. But I think above all of the different skills they have to learn and the academics that they have to learn, there's some students that just have this one special quality that they can relate to someone when they walk into the room. People notice and smile and feel at ease, and they really can connect with patients on a different level. This student has helped her cohort connect with each other, and as the former president of our student group, she has also brought the different cohorts together. She's worked hard to raise money for the patients in our clinic. She put on our 5K almost, well, I don't want to say single-handedly, everybody helped, but she's really strong in the way that she does things, and she did a great job putting it all together. From a personal perspective, she was my GA this semester, and I don't think I would have survived without you guys. Yeah. So it's my pleasure to be able to give this award to Sarah BP. Thank you, Sarah. I have to give you a hug.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Those such kind words.
Hello. My name is Almara Hutchinson, and I get the pleasure of talking about the Outstanding Student Clinician graduate student for the SLP side. So I echo what Dr. Callahan said. I've told you guys before, don't tell anyone else, but you're my favorite cohort. And you are perfectly trained, perfectly trained. So as a coordinator of clinical education, I monitor all evaluations that come in. And over the past 2 years, one student has consistently inspired the same words, no matter what setting or population she is serving. Compassionate, independent, thoughtful, confident, and exceptional. Supervisors described this student as having the perfect personality and demeanor for the population, and praised excellent patient care, professionalism, communication skills, critical thinking, and independence with increasingly complex clinical responsibilities, including swallow assessments and MBSS interpretation. In pediatric settings, the student was recognized for natural connection with children, specifically supervisors noting strength in areas where many students traditionally struggle. I also had the privilege of supervising this student in undergraduate time. in the Parkinson's movement group, and it's been incredible to watch the student continue to grow and blossom. But perhaps what stands out the most is this: no matter the setting, no matter the population, the same themes continue to emerge: professionalism, compassion, confidence, trust. The kind of clinician who not only performs well, but makes patients, families, supervisors, and peers feel supported in the process. So I'm honored to present this award to Taylor Frame. Okay, so you're stuck with me again. I am now going to talk about the Outstanding GA Award. So for all the other awards I'm presenting, I'm able to kind of keep it a mystery until the end, but this one I can't, because it is my GA that is receiving this award. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Meg. So Meg has a quiet confidence that fills the room before you even realize it is there. For the past 2 years as my graduate service assistant, she has approached every task with professionalism, efficiency, and an unwavering willingness to help. From Typhon maintenance and the creation of student training materials to developing graphics and flow charts that help students better understand the placement process, Meg has consistently gone above and beyond in ways that have directly impacted both students and faculty. She even led the initial phase of a clinical trial at the nursery school before additional students joined the project as part of their culminating research. In addition to assisting with teaching and grading in our undergraduate 482 clinical course, she has also trained new graduate service assistants that will continue in the program. Meg is the kind of person every program hopes for in a graduate assistant: adaptable, dependable, exceptionally capable, and always willing to take on complex tasks without complaining. What makes her accomplishments even more impressive is that she balanced all of this while having a perfect GPA. It is my pleasure to present the Graduate Assistant Award to Megan Murray.
Hello. So I will now be presenting the Graduate Student Research Award. This student has been instrumental in her research efforts since she was an undergraduate student with us. She has always had a curiosity for working with young children and understanding the nuances of their behavior. This student has worked on the same clinical trial at several places in the community with faculty and peers for the past 4 years now. She demonstrates excellence in clinical research and a continual commitment to serving her community and the profession. Please join me in congratulating Isabella Angevine.
Sorry, that threw me off. Okay. Okay, the next award is the Graduate Student Service Award. Service is not always loud. Sometimes it looks just simply showing up again and again, quietly volunteering, supporting others, building community, and saying yes whenever help is needed. This year's Graduate Student Service Award recognizes a student who embraced our WVU community from the moment she arrived. This student immediately immersed herself in our program through countless recruitment and outreach efforts, volunteering for WVU Decide Day on weekends, open house tours, and enthusiastically recruiting future students, even while completing her externship back in her home state. Her commitment to service extended far beyond recruitment. She volunteered for multiple community screening trips throughout Southern West Virginia and our local communities, helping provide hearing and speech screenings across the state of West Virginia. She has also consistently demonstrated exceptional collaboration across disciplines, supporting both SLP and AUD initiatives with professionalism, kindness, and a genuine willingness to help others. What stands out the most is the way this student embraced the values and land-grant mission of WVU. She may not have arrived here as a mountaineer, but she is graduating as a mountaineer who has contributed meaningful impact toward our land-grant mission. It is my honor to present the Graduate Student Service Award to Jordan Wells.
Okay. Next, we have the Undergraduate Student Research Award. This undergraduate researcher has consistently demonstrated the qualities that define excellence in research and a genuine commitment to improving outcomes for children with language and literacy needs. Over the past year, she has become an integral part of our research team, quickly mastering complex assessments and data collection procedures that are typically challenging even for graduate students. She approaches every task with professionalism and attention to detail, whether administering standardized assessments, working with children and families, managing research materials, or contributing to data organization and analysis. Beyond her technical skills, she has an exceptional ability to build rapport with participants and collaborate effectively with peers and faculty. She consistently seeks feedback, asks thoughtful questions, and independently works toward solutions when challenges arise. In addition to her work within the lab, she has already begun contributing to the broader research community by presenting her work at both regional and national conferences. She has also taken the significant step of submitting her first manuscript for publication, demonstrating both initiative and a strong commitment to scholarly dissemination early in her career. What sets her apart most is her dedication to learning and her willingness to take on responsibility with confidence and humility. She has contributed meaningfully to projects focused on developmental language disorder, narrative language intervention, and school-based literacy support, helping advance research and has direct implications for children, educators, and clinicians across West Virginia and beyond. Her work ethic, compassion, and academic potential make her incredibly deserving of recognition as Undergraduate Student Researcher of the Year. Congratulations to Francesca Sully for this well-deserved achievement. Yeah, I'm gonna give you that. Well deserved. Well deserved.
This is for all of you. Okay, next is the Undergraduate Student Service Award. Again, this is going to give this student away right from the beginning, but you'll just have to listen a little bit to hear what she did. Okay, so this award is going to Caroline. And Caroline has demonstrated outstanding leadership and commitment to service through her role as Vice President and the Wavisha Student Representative for WVU's chapter of NISHLA. In these roles, she has been instrumental in coordinating monthly fundraisers and organizing numerous service activities that have both strengthened our program and the surrounding community. Notably, the funds she helped raise enabled NISHLA to support Starkey Care hearing aids payments for 3 clients this year. directly improving access to hearing healthcare for individuals in need. Beyond fundraising, Caroline has been deeply involved in organizing and participating in a wide range of community service projects. Through NISHLA, she helped coordinate efforts such as collecting pop tabs for the Ronald McDonald House, creating Happy Mail cards for children at the WVU Children's Hospital, volunteering at the Cleft Palate Clinic, participating in food drives for Scott's Run Settlement House, making holiday cards for local nursing homes, raising $235 for WVU's Walk to End Alzheimer's team, and assembling hygiene baskets for the Compass Women's Center. In her role as Wavisha student representative, she also helped plan and promote last year's state convention, further supporting professional engagement within the field. Caroline's dedication to service, leadership, and community impact exemplifies the spirit of this award over the past 2 years in her role in NISHLA. Please join me in congratulating Caroline Fry.
Okay, so that concludes all of the awards. But before we do the student address, I would actually like to invite our dean, Dr. Mary Beth Mandich, to the stage. I have no idea if she's off to another event, so we've got to work her in between all of these activities. But she would like to say a few words to the graduates and their families.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to the families and the graduates. These programs are incredibly intense, and the students are never successful if they don't have a support group that is available to them in person, by phone, by FaceTime, to help them over the rough patches. So to the families, friends, partners, and everyone in the room, that was the wind beneath their wings. Thank you and congratulations. As Dr. Brandel says, I oversee a diverse array of health professions in the School of Medicine. And one of the things I think that distinguishes our programs is to a person. Not only are the faculty incredibly competent and experienced and knowledgeable, they're very caring and they're very engaged. And so during your experiences here, I'm sure that you have had that experience of a faculty member being not only a teacher, but a mentor. So can we take a second to thank the faculty? And then lastly, to the students, my background is in working with children with disabilities. I'm a physical therapist. And so my entire professional career has been spent as part of a team, PT, OT, SLP, and a special ed teacher. That's how I've spent a good portion of my life. And what I've learned through that is that the children who come to us are human beings who need to have a whole life experience. And communication is one of the essence of living a normal and complete and full life. So I heard Molly mention the clinic that we're involved in. Just to see a child's face light up when they can communicate something is just incredibly life-changing. And so what I want to say is that I have been in my field for a long, long time, and I still love it. I love it. I love the experiences I have. I love seeing the children be able to do something they couldn't do before. And I thought that was normal. Like, I thought people loved the work that they did every day. But I've come to realize by talking with other people And with my own children, that's not normal. Many people get up every day and go to work to earn a paycheck, and they put in their time and they don't feel that joy in what they do. So what I wish for you in your respective careers as people who will help people hear and help people speak and communicate is that you experience that joy in multiple ways over many years. And so I want to congratulate you and remind you that as the newest alumni of WVU shortly, that country roads will always bring you home. Congratulations.
And so that we will invite Sarah back to the stage so that she can give the student address.
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, actually. I'll start with a quick listening check. Those of you that can hear me, can you please raise your hand? I like that. All right, great. About half of you passed already. Those of you that did not raise your hands, some new audiologists are accepting new patients, so they'll be able to take care of you. My name is Sarah Van Putten. I'm in the Doctorate of Audiology program here at WVU. First, I would like to thank Dr. Brandel for asking me to speak today, and thank you to our family, friends, and loved ones for joining us as we celebrate one of the greatest accomplishments of our lives so far. This is a funny moment for me because I didn't tell very many people that I'd be making this speech today, so my parents, my sister, some of my audiology cohort are finding this out real time. Surprise. When Dr. Brandel asked me to make this speech, my initial thought was absolutely not, but after thinking it through a second time, I realized my mom would somehow find out, and I would never hear the end of it. So here I am. And truthfully, that's kind of the story of how many of us got here today was because somebody believed in us. Like many of the families here today, mine have supported me through the years of schooling, long study nights, stressful clinic days, and probably more conversations about ears and hearing aids than they ever expected to have. Their encouragement, patience, and belief in me helped me get to this moment. When I first sat down to write this speech, I had no idea where to start. So like any responsible graduate student, I Googled how to start a speech or how to be funny but not embarrassing, and quickly realized that best speeches come straight from the heart. So naturally, I went straight to ChatGPT. Just kidding. But in all seriousness, when I thought about what I wanted to say, I kept coming back to the same idea that this moment represents so much more than a program. Today is not just about all of us sitting here, but it's about all of you sitting out there. Our parents, guardians, partners, friends, professors, mentors, and loved ones who support us through this long and challenging journey. Because while today represents an incredible milestone for us, none of us got here alone. Behind every person graduating today are the people who listen to us talk through clinical classes or clinical cases at the dinner table, who encouraged us during stressful weeks of exams and projects, who called to check in after we disappeared for 2 weeks during midterms. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Who let us practice clinical skills on them to help us study or complete a project, and who reminded us they were capable of doing this even if we weren't so sure ourselves. We truly would not be here without you. To my fellow graduates, we have shared an experience that few people outside this field truly understand. This moment has taken years of dedication, perseverance, and probably more caffeine than we'd like to admit. The next couple of minutes I could spend talking about school, but that's not nearly the whole story. Beyond classes and clinic, many of us worked jobs, served in leadership positions, volunteered in the community, mentored prospective students, and helped build the sense of community that made this program feel like home. The audiology graduate students were a part of the Student Academy of Audiology, which I had a pleasure of serving as president during my second year alongside an incredible board. Shout out to Emily, Mallory, Grace, Kristen, Riley, Sarah, and Haley. It would not have been possible without you guys by my side. Our speech language pathology and undergraduate students were also involved in building that same community through volunteer working the events, and also building their own organizations like NISHLA. Through NISHLA, they volunteered their time, supported the community, and began building friendships and professional connections that will last long beyond their time here. We volunteered our free time giving tours to prospective students, talking to high school students about audiology and speech language pathology, volunteering through the community, and representing this program in ways that went far beyond the classroom. I'm sure the SLP and undergraduates can relate, but for us audiology students, over the course of the last 3 years, audiology and school consumed our lives. So much so that on multiple occasions, we made a deal that the next time we would hang out with each other, we would not speak about audiology at school and needed to talk about something else, but that never actually happened. We would casually talk about ABRs, VNGs, hearing aids, experiences with our patients at respective placements like it was a completely normal conversation. The SLP students talked about their AAC devices, swallowing disorders, patients, and undergraduates talked about a mixture of both and more. Even when we discuss these very topics with our family, they have spent years politely nodding and pretending they understand what we're talking about. Our audiology students mastered vestibular evaluations, masking rules, cochlear implants, hearing aid technology, and the art of saying, press the button when you hear the beep, which, if we're being honest, is probably the most practical skill we learned. Our speech-language pathology students spent hours transcribing speech, studying language development and disorders, and explaining to everyone they meet that they actually do a lot more than just help children pronounce their R's. And undergraduate students building the foundations for these professions by learning about communication sciences, discovering their passions and paths they will take, whether that is audiology, SLP, or another profession. To our undergraduates, wherever that road may lead, remember the most important aspect of this journey is to be present in the moment and remember how far you've come. I know I said I wouldn't talk about school, but honestly, it's still a part of the story, but I won't bore you with all the details. Bear with me for the next few moments. Through our clinical placements, we were pushed outside of our comfort zones. Some days we walked out of the clinic feeling confident and proud of the work we had accomplished. Other days we walked out wondering if we remembered to save the hearing aid programming before the patient left the office. Or if you're an SLP student, you probably wonder if you correctly scored the clinical evaluation of Language Fundamentals 5. But those moments were all a part of the process because at the heart of both audiology and speech-language pathology is something incredibly meaningful, helping people connect or reconnect with the world around them and the people they love the most. As audiologists, we help people reconnect with the sounds and voices in their lives, such as conversations with loved ones, hearing their grandchild say, "I love you," laughter in a crowded room, and music they might not have heard clearly in years. As speech-language pathologists, you help people find their voices, sometimes literally, whether it's helping a child say their first words, helping someone recovering from a stroke, or giving a patient a new way to communicate. Although these moments seem small, they are life-changing to the patients we encounter every day. To our professors, clinical supervisors, thank you for guiding us, challenging us, and preparing us for the responsibility that comes with this profession. You taught us that being a clinician is more about knowledge, it's about empathy, patience, and the ability to meet people where they are. And to my audiology cohort, it has been truly the best experience to have walked this path with you, and I wouldn't have wanted to make it through this journey with anybody else. You all have truly made a positive impact on my life without even knowing it, and words cannot begin to describe how much you all truly mean to me, but I will try. Today, I focused on all of our hard work and behind the scenes, but there's a third part to everyone's stories that we will carry with us well beyond the ending of this journey. Strangers who became friends and friends who became family. For those that don't know, during our final year in the audiology program, we go our separate ways for our clinical placements. So today, an entire year later, is especially meaningful because after seeing each other every day for 2 years straight, being reunited on one of the biggest days of our lives feels incredibly bittersweet. Moving here from New York, I didn't know a single person. I had never been to the university, let alone the state, but because of you, this became a home away from home. If you all couldn't tell, my cohort became close friends. We would go to each other's hometowns. For example, Emily Maloney's family hosted us when we would go to the ASHA convention, or we got a true Ravenswood experience with Kristen Cunningham's family. We would introduce each other to our hometown friends that came to visit, tailgated for football games, go Bills, movie nights, karaoke nights until 3 a.m., birthdays, accomplishments, everything in between. We cried, stressed, studied, but most importantly, we laughed together. The friendships that I've made here are truly something that I will forever cherish and be grateful for, and I cannot wait to see what awesome audiologists you all become and continue these friendships after graduation. As we move forward into the next chapter of our careers, our path will take us in many different directions, but no matter where we go, our purpose remains the same: helping people communicate, connect, improve overall quality of life, and participate fully in the world around them. And one thing we've all learned throughout this journey is no matter where our careers take us, we'll probably spend the rest of our lives explaining exactly what we do for a living. As audiology and speech-language pathology students, we've all had those conversations. Someone asks what we study, and we immediately know the responses that are coming. So you just test hearing, you teach kids how to say their R's, and honestly, sometimes it's easier just to smile and say something like that. Those of us in speech language pathology and audiology know there's a few classic interpretations that follow us everywhere. There's the confident, my speech is fine when assessing someone for swallowing, or don't you just play games all day? And for audiology, while looking at a patient's ears, can you see if I have a brain in there? Or while programming hearing aids, can you turn my wife down instead? Our audiology favorites, hello, I will be completing your hearing test today, and a patient immediately and excitedly responds with, what? Like they've been preparing to say that all morning, or the patient who hears every instruction perfectly but still asks, was that part of the test? And somewhere between fixing arts, programming hearing aids, and repeating ourselves more times than we can count, we realize our work is constantly being summarized in ways that are creative at best, but we know it is so much more than that. We help people reconnect with their families, regain confidence, recover communication, participate in conversations, return to work, hear music again, swallow safely, and engage more fully with the world around them. We are clinicians, advocates, educators, and problem solvers who have the ability to make meaningful differences in people's lives every single day. So while we may spend our next several decades continuing to explain our professions to the world around us, at least now we have the degrees to prove it. To the graduating class, as we close one chapter and begin another, I want to say how proud I am of each and every one of you. We have worked incredibly hard to reach this moment, and today we celebrate not just the degrees we earned, but the personal and professional growth that brought us here. After all the exams, clinic hours, late nights, hearing tests, therapy sessions, projects, coffee, and everything in between, we did it. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. We are now going to recognize each of our graduates. When I call your name, you guys can come and get your gift. We're going to start with audiology. Grace Barton. Sarah Bashaw. Kristen Cunningham. Riley Harris. Haley Kolos. Emily Maloney. Emily Parker. Sarah Van Putten. Mallory Walker. Nathaniel Wickel. Okay, we're going to now shift gears to the Masters of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Molly Arbogast. Claire Brizard. Emily Chandler. Hannah Copenhaver. Anna Ferguson. Taylor Frame. Shay Hanif. Isabella Hoffman. Addie Ivy. Catherine Jensen. Malia Jividen. Rebecca Johnson. Jessica Joseph. Reagan Knotts. Zena Land. Emma McLaughlin. Lauren Meehan. Megan Murray. Catherine Noel. Caitlin O'Neill. Maddie Oxley. Elizabeth Payne. Sadie Peace. Brady Roberts. Riley Skeens. Emma Swaniger. Samantha Tennant. Jordan Wells. Taylor Willis. Kate Witherall. And Lydia Young. Okay, now we will honor our students graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Communication Sciences and Disorders. Madeline Foggin. Caroline Fry. Kalila Hames. Haley Holdren. Marley Meter. Shauna Miller. Sydney Mullins. Haley Plume. Mary Powell. Madison Reiser. Haley Shoemate. Elena Slook. Francesca Sully. Emma Walker. Madeline Walls. And Olivia Woods. Let's give one more round of applause.
Okay, well, congratulations, everyone. Before we process out, I would just like to remind you there are refreshments outside. Feel free to mingle with your parents, take pictures. If you want to do a group photo, you can gather with your cohort, and we do have a photographer, and then we'll be sharing those with you. So just know that that's available, kind of like the white coat grad students. And so with that, I will start playing music, and then students process out, and then families.